and welcome to a very special episode of Dice and Dudes, Dudes on Dudes, number 6. It's not quite as sexual as it sounds, just almost.
Yeah, we got a girl in the middle. So.
Well, technically, we got a guy in the middle. Kyle is the meat of the sandwich.
It's just another episode of Human Centipede.
Right?
Oh,
yeah, God.
Stuck in the middle with absolutely no one.
Shock value!
Okay, so normally we try to do these a little more often, but time has not been on our side lately. So we have collected questions from the last couple of months that we've had, and we are putting them all into right now. We promise next month, starting in March, we're going to be doing these once a month. That is our promise to you. We already promised that for January, but that is our new affiliate promise. We will have these done once a month.
New Year's resolution.
Send us all of your questions to diceanddudes9@gmail.com, or tonight, after I finish the questions that I have posted, anybody that asks a question that I can ask them that they can answer, we'll go ahead and do. So tonight I will be moderating it, and we have, today as our dudes, we have Joe, who plays Dakin.
Yep.
We have Sonia, who plays Cheer. We have Kyle, who kind of plays Fionn. We have Paul, who plays Calith. And we have Vince, who plays Gunner. So this is our largest Dudes on Dudes event, but we have a ton of questions. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get
It's a goddamn orgy is what it is.
This episode is brought to you simply by David's Talisman Terrain. Check me out on Instagram. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. That's our only sponsor for tonight's episode. Remember to catch us on Monday for Lander. That's very, very important. I hope you guys have a lot of fun watching that, as much fun as we're going to have playing that. Because we've already played it a couple of times. It is a great game. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into this right now. So Monday at 7 Mountain Time. Don't forget. Okay. So first off, for everyone, this was the first question that we got.
All right.
You guys took the name The Defiant Few based on what Alara Hall called you. Did you guys debate other names before deciding on the Defiant Few? If you did, what were they?
Cheers Company?
Oh, Cheers Group, yeah.
No.
The Brown Water Irregulars.
The only person that debated Cheers Company was you.
Yeah.
It was a good name.
No.
It didn't get
good name.
too much debate. Actually, I think at one point someone just wrote down a name,
Yeah.
and we all just said,
Okay.
Okay.
I think that was me, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
It might have
I was
been.
just like, Defiant Few. There we go. We're good. Done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep saying that.
It was Kyle who did come up with the name.
No, I know. I'm saying I wrote it on the paper.
No, she
For
wrote it on the paper.
documentation.
And here
Oh,
she's
okay.
taking credit for it.
Oh, yeah. She is.
Right?
Not for the
Right.
name. I just wrote it down.
So were there any other serious contenders that you guys had, or was that pretty much
The
it?
one that-
Cheers.
I think the Brown Water Irregulars was one of them.
Talisman was a highly.
I think you guys decided to go away from that one because if you left Brownwater, no one would really know it. Yeah. I think that was what
It
that
also
basically
made me
was.
think of dysentery.
Right? Brownwater Irregulars. Yeah.
Oh.
I think that was part of the joke, though.
Yes.
I think that was part of the joke.
But,
You know, like
I guess it's
exactly
exactly
what
what
it
it
is.
Dysentery, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Losing your memory, shitting yourself to death.
That question was from Pimply Rear End. The next question is from LowJ915. Is there anything that you have done that has gone counter to your initial character ideal? If so, what was it?
Yes.
Okay, so now the follow-up to that is, if so, what was it?
What was it?
Right. Depending on something particular this time, it's kind of difficult, but I do know that my initial ideal with Caliph was to be very subversive cloak and dagger type of character. Not really getting into combat, not trying to talk his way through most situations while leaving them having this stinging feeling in the back of their head that they didn't quite get the better out of him and he somehow insulted him, but not quite really sure.
Well, that's kind of what you've been doing, though. That's still kind of
Kind
of. But I guess you didn't want to be the
almost
face of the group. Like,
dying.
you're constantly at the forefront.
Well,
of
being the face of the group would have been a good idea. That
Yeah.
would have fit in there. But being the ground beef face of the group is
Oh,
a
yeah.
different story.
All right. Yeah.
Like, how many combats now that you've almost died?
All of them.
Almost.
Well, to be fair, in the last game session,
Oh.
I have never nearly one-shot a character before. 1 point of damage was the difference
That
between
was-
his life and death.
Yep.
Have we had a combat
You're not
where you
trying hard
didn't go
enough.
down?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, those are the
No.
exceptions rather than
No,
the rule.
he didn't go down in the roper fight. He didn't go down when you guys fought the water weirs. He didn't go down in
I went-
the first part of the
no.
grotto fight. The second part of the grotto fight. He went down in the first part of the grotto fight, but he didn't go down in the second part, and then he went down again. But pretty much everybody fell down in that last fight.
Yeah.
I mean,
Except
almost
for
everybody
you,
went down.
Because you were in the back.
Hey, you were. Hey, if you guys hadn't burned through that first stage of that fight so quickly, it would have been much worse.
That's where the
Ooh.
TP
Because
is.
that thing lost its 15-foot reach.
Yeah.
Well, I think the very first fight that Cal got into was with. No,
No, he insulted Laura Hall to one of his
but
men.
it was with another player character,
Oh.
who almost one shot.
Oh, yeah.
He knocked you unconscious. He didn't even
Yeah,
one
that's
shot.
right.
He knocked you down to
It
zero.
took
didn't he?
you took 43 points of damage in that fight. If you took 44, you were insta-gibbed. You were dead. Like, there was no, like, Cal's not unconscious. There's no
Whoa.
no, he's dead.
Well.
No, he's dead.
Yeah,
You
because
don't
Have the
have,
diamonds?
you don't
to do
have the
that?
diamonds to cast the spell.
I need to find
Vince
them.
and I remember
Exactly.
how many freaking times we were
See,
like,
that's
take down
the
diamonds
thing
last
that
campaign.
people
Yeah.
forget about D&D is like, as soon as you hit 5th level, like, characters don't die because you have Revivify. That's 100 gold pieces and diamonds. You know how fucking rare diamonds are? I mean, if your DM is handing you hundreds and hundreds of gold pieces worth of diamonds all the time, he doesn't want to kill you.
Well, we are underground.
Sure, in
remember-
a Fungal grotto.
How much resources did I waste just tracking down damn diamonds?
I'm pretty sure we hit
Yeah.
bedrock at this point, and that's a little too deep to
I
find
mean, because you
diamonds.
guys had to use, like, real
Yeah.
resurrection, like,
Yeah.
10,000 gold pieces worth of diamonds, and it took you guys, like, a week to find those. Like, it's not a simple thing.
At a high level with the teleports.
Yes, with
still-
teleport
Boom,
shit.
boom, boom, boom.
And access to a fucking airship, too. I
Access
mean,
to an airship,
Yeah.
teleport, and
it
still
still
to go
took you
something.
guys.
Yeah.
So was there anybody else that how you built your character, you've already made choices that went counter to what you initially thought they were going to be?
I don't think so.
Mostly the tactical error of even bothering to cast what's it called? Call lightning. I should just have healed myself. Then it would have healed everybody.
Yeah, but that's a minor thing. That's not like a character choice
Yeah,
that really
It
affected.
could have been
It's just a
good.
tactical choice. That's
Yeah.
the difference.
I mean, to be fair, the damage you poured into him was good.
Yeah, one strike that bastard killed
Yeah.
him down right quick.
Hey, the thing is, and I have to say, like, we're kind of getting off topic of this, but about that fight, you guys did that about as well as you possibly could. That combat could not really have gone any better in your favor.
Spoilers, by the way.
I missed a few hits that I needed to miss.
I
Yeah.
could have not rolled 6 1s.
True.
Right.
And to be fair though, I didn't roll an abundance of 20s. I mean, I rolled pretty average the whole night, and that wasn't like it was my luck against your luck. That was literally just your guys' plan against this thing, and that thing was dangerous. I mean, you guys saw. I mean, it's regular damage. It can do that, and slowly eating your memories. I mean,
That
we don't
was
even
not
know
fun.
what's going to happen with that. 3 people already have memories that were eaten. We don't know if they're even going to get them back yet. So that's for next game session.
Yeah. That's good.
So, so everybody's happy with their answer for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
it's only him.
So this question is for Vince.
Ooh.
We found out that your character Gunner has or had a brother. Did seeing Dahlius sitting beside his canatotic brother affect Gunner in any way? Did it remind him of his own brother?
Ooh. This is juicy.
I don't know. Definitely. It's, if you think about that kind of character, anytime somebody sees another person's brother in trouble and you had a similar experience, it'll bring that up.
So definitely he was affected by it.
Definitely. That's one of the reasons Gunnar wasn't attacking Dahlius, because of that connection.
See, so that makes a lot of sense. Where you're just like, nope, not
Because
not
I
gonna
didn't-
find him. Yeah,
Gunnar didn't swing on Dahlius once.
not a single
which
time.
Probably cost him some hit points.
It did. It definitely it's one of those things of it was well role played at in that moment, and I'm glad that it did affect him. Like that's something that would affect anybody. I mean, it only
Yeah,
makes
no,
sense. Yeah, it only makes
see
especially as
somebody
that's
that
such a
you've-
giant wound for Gunnar.
Maybe not a friendship, but definitely an association with
Yeah.
that suffering trauma that brings up your own past, and then they pop up right in front of you in the middle of a stressful situation.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So the next question is for our friend Paul. Callus seems to be a man with a plan, and at times a dog chasing cars.
Yeah.
Why does he sometimes try to steal or mess with random people? What is his motivation for that?
Oh.
Oh.
Well, that really is a good question. He normally does have a plan, and he does want to go about the plan. Whether or not the others around him like his plan and go along with the plan certainly changes whether or not he can do it.
You can. There's saying the word plan a lot.
Yeah, well, he plans to have a plan. Sometimes,
But sometimes
So
it
does he
doesn't go
can
to
plan
plan.
around those plans?
I'm guessing it's dog chasing cars.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But it's always best to have your friends,
Think that you have fun.
your enemy, keep your enemies off guard. So maybe thinking that you don't have a plan, and especially keeping your friends even more off guard.
So then
And
what
shouldn't
makes
be crazy
him
like
at
that.
times just decide,
I think
I'm going to steal this, or I'm going to fuck with this person, or I'm going to turn, look like a woman suddenly and, start flirting with them, this to turn into a man and be like, gotcha, sucker. Like,
Well, part of it is the nature of subterfuge of just trying to make sure that you have some information on someone else that they may or may not know that you actually have.
okay.
The stealing, he needs things.
So he's pretty much revealed that he's that he was a spy.
Yeah, I think that that's been for the most part revealed.
Yeah.
So that just kind of creeps into his regular interaction with.
Yeah.
He's always got that I need dirt on these people.
Yeah, I need
Okay.
dirt. Looking at everything from the political angle of,
Okay.
How can I have power or leverage with someone, or someone important.
Are you able to scoot to your right? And are you able to scoot to your right? Just a little bit. There we go. That's good. It depends on how sexy we want to get when we make this dudes on dudes.
No.
Okay, so that's a good answer. That's a good answer. I'm glad that we're getting some insight into that. That's cool. Okay, so for Kyle,
Mm.
holy crap, this has just kind of gone. That was completely by
So far.
So for
far.
Kyle,
Yeah.
Fionn continues to have visions of the woman with the green hair.
Oh.
Do you have any theories as to who or what she is, or do you know who or what she is?
Nope.
That's his answer.
So you have no theories.
Fionn.
In true Vian fashion, it is so one word.
Quite eloquent.
What color were her eyes again?
Her eyes is same color as her hair. It's like that seafoam.
Well,
green.
if they had been two different colors, I would have thought she was maybe the goddess herself, but no.
Well, the depictions of the goddess, she never appears. She always appears with one color of those eyes, but
Mhm.
never they're never different. And it
Well,
usually
neither of them
depends
they
on
were
the
neither
month.
silver nor gold, so that throws that out. Could be a servant of the goddess directly,
So you think she's trying to directly influence you?
possibly.
All right.
Like,
All right.
you are related to Lola somehow, maybe.
All right.
See
I
foam
can
and
dig it,
smell
I
of
can dig
salt,
it.
so
Yeah, I can dig it. Okay. So you happy with that? And that was from MoJ915. Some of these they didn't send a handle, and they sent their real name with their email. So I'm not when I say those, I'm not saying who they're from because I'm not going to try to dox anybody. So if you want us to shout you out for your question on the stream, make sure you try to include your Twitch handle. Okay, try to include your Twitch handle. All right. So next one is for Sonia. Again,
It
we're
is
following the
another
pattern. The reveal of your backstory was great. Is she starting to see one eye in a different light? Why was she so mad at Callus? So that's like 3 questions in one. So
Yeah. Well, the first one is just a comment.
that's true. Well,
Oh.
that's true. So 2 different questions. Yeah, so 2 different questions.
But you can comment on the comment.
I could comment. Yes, the reveal was great.
Now I know you haven't been able to interact a lot with
Yeah, I was
Paul
gonna-
because
that's what I was
he hasn't been
gonna
able to be
say.
here
He
very
hasn't been
often.
here. So it's kind of hard to see him in a new light if I don't get to interact.
Well, you're no longer doing the one eye thing. Like you're actually saying his name now. So is that like your own way of trying to show that she is starting to warm at least a little bit to him? Because whether the player has been here or not,
The character.
the character's been here
Yeah.
and he's done a lot to try to assist you.
Mm-hmm.
And you did give him that poison dagger. You could have, You could have fucked off with that and been like, nah, this is mine. You know, like, he had no idea it existed.
True. Okay. But no, I gave him the dagger, and yeah. No, she tolerates him now.
Okay. And the second part of that question, why was she so mad at Cal?
Well, that one's easy. She views Cal as like her dad. I mean, I even said it last session, and
Yeah.
nobody else said anything.
Well, it was in the middle of
It was in the
combat.
middle of
I
combat,
know.
so.
It's like I'm not gonna. We're gonna talk about it afterwards.
That's
No,
when you
no,
see
no,
everybody
we should
scribbling down a
have
note for
stopped
next
combat
session.
immediately. No,
Just
buddy,
like,
we
hold
need
on,
to hug.
hold on, you
Time out,
you look
time
at-
out.
time out. Like, wait, what?
No.
Oh, okay. Now we can start fighting.
He's the closest thing she has to a parent. It's like kind of like Invader Zim, where he's like, "I love you, cold, unfeeling mechanical."
Oh, okay.
It's like,
All right, that's good answer. That's good answer.
closest thing. So that's why she felt so very betrayed. She didn't know he knew everything and that he was planning on taking her back.
Well, obviously he wasn't, because like I said, he's a man with a plan, but he didn't take her back.
That's right.
So a follow up for Bunt, same person. How did Cal feel when Cheer got mad at him for revealing who he was and how and that he knew who she was? How does Cal really feel about Cheer?
Well, in that moment, for those of who have kids, like you're dealing with or have dealt with other people's kids. When you deal with the impudent little child who's just bratty and beyond control, it was that it's like, what are you doing? Can't you see the Can't you see the rationality in front of you? But emotion took over this of the situation and clouded people's minds. And it is. I would maybe not necessarily a fatherly viewpoint of Chair Cal has, but it is definitely one of respect and caring. Going in the fatherly direction is probably accurate.
I mean, you sacrificed everything, so that way you wouldn't have to
Entire career,
Yeah, everything's gone.
Yeah,
You literally burned your previous life to the ground for this one person, and then to see this one
Cheer, you
person
should be happy.
getting so pissed off at you for doing that, you're like. But again, it's like she's like nipping a child. She didn't understand the connotations of what you had to do.
Yeah, and there was a bit of betrayal in it too. It's like, I've done all this for you, and then you have turned around and confided in others.
Yeah.
About this.
Okay. All right, you very good answer. Very good answer. See.
Well, we're gonna have discussion.
Next
Have a
one is
discussion in
for
character when he gets
Joe.
Joe.
Okay, and this is a big one.
Oh, okay.
Cal saw a picture of you with, I'm guessing, your family in your room. Does Dakin keep his past a secret on purpose, or is it just something he doesn't want to talk about?
It's just something he doesn't want to talk about.
Oh, I have a question about that too, because you mentioned that Cheer in her little dress reminded
Oh,
me
yeah.
of the little girl.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's some elaboration's probably never going to happen because he mentioned dealing with a plague that spared Fion's people. Yeah.
So Dakin has dropped a bunch of little nuggets all over the place. You're like a little rabbit, just putting out story content, just like little kernels of story content.
When it comes up, it'll come up.
Yeah, but that's interesting. All right,
I know.
so it's not
Cheer
something.
didn't hear
So
it,
it's
but
definitely
I
not something that. Okay, and this is one that I know about, and someone's mentioned it to me, but I don't remember their name. So I'm just gonna say it like that sash is important, huh?
Yep.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna say there because I know obviously,
Little
but they wanted me to ask a question. I didn't tell them, so I hope you're watching because yes, it is important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next one is for Vince. Vince, we're not even through the first page, people. So
no.
Gunner seems to be softening a lot with his rough exterior, especially with Cheer.
Yep.
What has caused him to take such a liking to the gnome?
She's a pain in the ass. He doesn't really trust people that come across as smooth. There's always something there that they're hiding that they're doing.
Yeah.
But if you're a pain in the ass, you're not doing it intentionally most of the time. It's just who you are.
Yeah.
So when
users
Cal
more
is
trustworthy.
talking to you,
When Cal is
and
trying
really
to fire him
eloquent,
up and
yeah.
being eloquent, he's, oh, hell no.
Like,
You're lying.
Yeah, it's like I was in the army. I had officers. Go fuck yourself.
Your lips are moving. You're an officer. You must be lying.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. All right, that's good. Anything else you want to add to that, or?
I think he softened a little bit towards most of them, even Cal, though Cal is the least trusted. But that's more of just the evolution of,
Well, I think you both are very hard-headed people,
Yeah.
and you both
And they
usually have opposite ends.
the
of
characters
what-
have
yeah.
completely different ideas of how to deal with it.
Yeah.
So there
it's-
there probably is maybe some legitimate reasons not to trust Cal.
Well, see, to be
Cal
fair,
is staring at
I
his
mean, he
ass.
was a spy, and no matter what, a spy is a spy is a spy is a spy.
And a
you know.
grave robber.
I spy.
Well, you don't know that.
I know, I know. But I know.
He knows.
You know.
But he doesn't know he knows.
The next one is for Kyle. Is Fian like Cheer that common isn't her first language, or is she just quiet because she is shy? Will she ever open up at all?
Oh.
I think I know who asked
Common
that
is
one.
not her first language.
Oh, so it is.
But is that why she has such trouble speaking?
No one asked.
That is true. Everybody speaks to her.
And
tongue.
other
That is-
times, there are times when I'm being obstinate here, but most of the time, just no one ever really asks me
Oh,
anything.
so maybe take that into the game session, guys. Maybe like what the hell, Fion? Like,
Wait, you could have gotten us around this?
I've noticed, but the character is also like, yeah, she's slow. All right, whatever.
It's like,
I mean, she is
That's
practically naked.
fair-ish.
right?
It's not me, it's got her, buddy.
Oh, poor little
Cal,
cat.
yeah, Cal has noticed that if she wants to say something, she'll speak up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else got anything to add to that, or
honestly, you're just like
Anything to add?
like a doll.
are you good? Okay. So then, for Sonia,
Yeah.
why does Cheer hate Elise so much? Being an alchemist, I thought they would be great friends. Would Cheer ask Elise to train her, maybe taking levels of wizard or
Oh,
artificer?
Oh, hell no. Artificer, yes, possibly. I think.
So would you ask Elise to train you in artificer?
Oh, fuck no. That's more of like,
No.
No, we don't
No.
know. That's why we're asking.
Well,
you to
that's why
elaborate.
the
That's what the
question
question was
was
asked.
they butt head so much. I think it's
Well,
because
I had to condense this question down because it was
Yeah.
like a paragraph long, and it was like it's the character that you would think Cheer would like the most because it's an alchemist and she loves alchemy and things like that. But for
Yeah.
some reason,
Started-
I flew in everybody's
Hate
faces.
each other.
Trust me on that.
Yeah.
It started with in our session 0 that we did have, but we
Okay.
didn't record them. That
That's what
they
I'm
met Elise, Callum Cheer met Elise on the road going to Brownwater, but Elise was kind of a bitch and very cold to Cheer.
but she's cool to everybody.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
But Cheer, being Cheer, took it very personally and was like, well, fine, you're going to be a bitch. I'll be a bitch too. And then it just became of, well, I'm better at this than you. And then, no, you're not. And then I'm smarter than you.
So
And
it's
it's just-
Cheer acting like a 13-year-old.
Yep.
Cheer is a 13-year-old.
Cheers.
I'm
That's
not saying
maturity
it's
wise.
wrong, but
Yeah, it's Cheer acting like a kid because Cheer, if you look at.
But that's interesting because that literally means you as a player,
Yeah.
you have torched a relationship that was that could have been very beneficial
Yeah.
to your character specifically for role playing.
Fluff!
Yeah.
You know what's rather
Fluff
interesting
is key!
about that?
Yeah.
You quick sidetrack onto your mentality versus her actual age. Psychological trauma tends to stunt. You put one's maturity at that level of the trauma.
And nothing is worse than being tortured for years and
Yeah.
years and years. I mean,
So
I mean,
good
maybe
role-playing.
being forced to watch Friends forever.
yeah, I mean, having to watch every scene with Ross in it on
Dun,
repeat.
dun, dun,
yeah.
dun.
Ross on
Yeah.
repeat.
Ross on repeat.
Ross on repeat. That's
Ross on repeat.
the new Netflix series.
And we just lost half our followers.
Yeah, that's my opinion. Not
yeah,
everybody
just
else.
don't-
look, I like Joey and I like Chandler, but I'm not a huge fan of the show. Seinfeld was better. I like
You're a
Seinfeld a
Chandler
lot.
trying to be
There we
a
go.
Joey, and you
Yeah.
came across as a Ross.
Yeah. I hated that character and I hated Rachel so much. I hated both of those characters.
Oh.
They were so unlikable.
They
I
could kill
could
the
not-
series for you.
Yeah, exactly. And they literally killed the series for me.
Wow, we got into friends.
We
from
are
a tangent.
getting off topic.
Okay, so
way back.
taking a sharp left turn back on the
Right?
topic.
Yes.
For Joe.
Oh.
Learning about Vrumati and her protection of the ghouls, did that change Dakin's perception of
Oh, yeah, I
undead?
already know that. Van Booty.
It's one of those things like I'd have to meet more undead, but it's more of a like, well, I'm trusting them because Sister Vermati trusts them,
Okay.
kind of thing. I was like, oh, the
But-
other undead would be like,
So
kind of
the cleric's going on faith.
That's
Of course.
a new concept.
I'm gonna take this on faith. You're a cleric. Anything else you want to add to that, or?
No, I think that's about it.
So would it make you affect how you would approach a situation with other undead to see like, well, what are they? Like, no one really knows what undead are. Like, yes, they're an abomination to life, but do they necessarily need to be destroyed? Would that give you pause if you ran into another situation again?
I guess it also depends on the situation. Like, if an undead's like eating people.
Well, yeah.
It's
Like,
like, no, they're
if
dying.
it's like ripping a townsperson apart, you're like, hold on a second. How do you feel about what you're doing right now? Like,
Well, there's also like even
I
if
feel sated. Okay, just making sure.
there's also this thing like say we meet like a zombie out in the wilderness. Like,
Oh,
what if
yeah.
it goes into town? Like, how would it react? And it'd be like,
okay.
My
So
initial-
it's all based on the situation.
Yeah.
But you're not that instantly, oh, it's undead, it has to die type thing.
we'll see what happens.
Were
Well,
you,
first
were
we-
you itching
Yeah.
to attack the ghouls?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
you're just
what I-
waiting for them to mess up,
because
just
he
like, all
left
right.
Cheer alone with them.
That's right. It,
And
But it's Cheer, though.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
this year's like you
Uh,
get in and out of that
Like, we're worried
situation.
about this fly?
okay, this question is actually for everyone.
Mm.
And this one, I was going to keep it to the end, but we're just going to go in the order that I did these.
All right.
Did you fear a character was going to die when you entered the well in episode 23?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yes.
This guy mostly. Well, a lot of us
Everybody-
do.
My intention is always to stay in the back, so I didn't think
And
it was
you
going to be
never
me.
end up in the back.
Well, what hurt
Because you
that?
guys keep dying.
What hurt that last fight was just like
Oh.
Cal was like, "I'm going to talk to this mushroom creature." I was like, "I can't leave him alone. He's going to die."
Well, to be fair, if you had been able to do something with that, then it would have been great.
Yes.
But it's one of those things that you don't know unless you try.
Yeah, but the thing is, I took a hit, and that
Yes.
hit made me use a third level heal spell myself, so I don't die.
Yes.
And it's like that was a third level spell that I didn't
And
have.
you guys could have had that fight. That fight would have made the next fight much harder.
I would have been like, "We need a rest."
That's a pretty big difference between characters there, because you're like, I can't leave him alone. He's going to die. And I was like, fuck it, he's going to die. I'm leaving him alone.
Yeah, he's made his choice.
Okay. And Cheer's just like, he'll jump down.
Yes, the cleric is. Yeah, of course you think the cleric would be altruistic.
And then the GM had to go and put me off guard. You said the mushrooms are bouncing up and down, and seriously, my mind went straight to Fantasia. I went to jumping.
Like, oh shit!
That's a Sherlock Fairies. We're talking about the.
Oh, no.
In all fairness, Cal might have actually, been able to pull off maybe that a little bit better if
Yeah.
someone wasn't trying to eat the plants.
I didn't. They didn't let me
Well,
do it, and that is
the
completely in
the
character.
circumstances notwithstanding, there wasn't a way to break through to that, but for reasons that will become very apparent in the next game session as to what was like the whole thing that was happening. Because as you guys noticed, as you grew further away from the last grotto, things were getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and it seemed like this thing is the epicenter. Like whatever this is, there's this energy coming in from the elemental plane of water, as you guys could see out into that portal.
Yeah.
But something was
Corrupting.
corrupting it. Something was fucking with it. Something was fucking with everything around it.
Hopefully, we killed it.
Well, Cal
and
definitely
you did a-
understands more now about it.
You did
Well,
a
so you
really good
think
job
he's lost
making that
our
apparent. Well,
Yeah, without like smacking you in the face.
Oh,
with it.
yeah. In my brain and what's in my character's brain don't communicate
Right?
well
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not playing the smart character from
Yeah.
last time with hey wait.
Like, hold on, let's think about this.
As
Yeah.
we've gone down the tunnel, things have gotten progressively more psychotic. Maybe talking's not a good idea right now.
So it looked like we had quite a few people actually tell us that you guys looked like you were all ready to just completely lose your minds during that last game session. How was your anxiety after the game?
After the game,
Oh,
No,
that was
fine.
great.
Yeah.
It felt like a relief.
Just that-
It's like, hey, we won the
I mean,
fight. What are you talking
yeah,
about,
I know.
anxiety? We're done here, folks.
Well,
we aren't
we're-
dead.
Well,
Poor
you're
Nick,
done
though.
now, but it's not quite over yet.
Yeah.
But like we
A
pushed
few of
as
us are
hard as
down.
we could. Like
Yeah.
I pushed that to as far as we could go.
Yeah.
Like there's a
And
part of
look
me
what
that
you
wishes
did
we
to
had
Nick.
gone to the next
You became
session,
a
but
turtle.
ending on that I think was much better.
Yeah.
Because that
Then.
yeah, I think that's the longest game session I think we've ever had since we've been at Dyson Dudes. I don't
We
think
had
we've
one
had
that's
one.
close.
Yeah, I don't think we've had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah, I don't think we've had one that. If we have it, it hasn't gone much longer than that. So, okay.
It was, I think it was 4 hours, 59 minutes.
I think
it was 4 hours,
Also,
50 minutes, something like that.
With that fight, I think
no, we were at 5 hours, 50 minutes.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about this one. I'm talking about the one that I'm thinking.
The one that was
Oh,
close.
okay.
Almost made it to 5
Yeah,
hours.
yeah.
What also helped with that fight is just the healers killing each other. It's like,
Daisy chain the heel,
The
baby!
thing
Oh
is,
my God!
the thing is, when you go, I went back and watched the fight several times. You guys very nearly TPK because if every healer went down at the same time, you guys were done. It was over. It was done.
yeah.
The thing is, you guys have built your group to be like this of your healers helping each other out and keeping other people up. Because several times in the fight, 2 out of 3 healers were down.
Yeah.
Several times in the fight. That was just. My anxiety was up during that fight because I'm trying to run the thing smart, and I don't want to start smacking on Dakin when he's down. But the thing's intelligent. It would know this guy needs to die right fucking now,
Yeah.
so that way it stops healing the others. I'm gonna kill him.
Oh, he's back up.
And it did several times. It would go after the
Yeah.
healers several times. It would just focus on the healers, trying to get them down, so that way you could pick the rest of you
I
off.
really did not like
Except
that
for the
fight
one
at all.
time the 18 AC actually.
It's like, I'm going to kill that one. How do you even know I summoned it?
Yeah, I cannot believe how well I rolled on that last thing too. Like I added that in as a footnote. Like anyone who's affected by this, when it goes down, it'd be that shock. Okay, cool. Maximum. I rolled 5 off of max damage.
Oof.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, I wasn't expecting that, but hey, the dice tell a story. And I looked at it was like, oh my God, are you dead? Like that was the first thing. As soon as I'm like, is he dead? Oh, wait. No. Oh shit, is he? Okay, no, he's not. All right. Like I gotta, but my thing is how am I gonna word this? Am I going to look at you all and say, okay, this is what happens, and turn to you and like, Cal lets out his final breath. Like that's what I was looking at. Like, what do I have to do? Like you just literally fall to the ground lifeless at that point, and you very nearly did.
Having played with you as much as I have, I know that look when you got it going. That was that last bit of anxiety after you said the damage because you got that look. I was like,
Oh,
how many hit points do I have? Shit, how
well,
many hit
like
points?
I mean, everybody went down from it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, we
I know
saved.
that there's a difference between going down and when
nearly
you're killing
dying.
a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like with Paul,
was
but like the last campaign when that thing was like, no, I'm gonna kill him, and I had to play it like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like that look of like, I'm sorry, dead.
Yep.
And it's like, I love the character, I love what you've done with it. I hope he's alright. I hope they can bring you back. You know, like but that was great. So sorry, we're getting off topic.
Okay.
That's what this thing is for. 'Cause,
Emotional
you know,
moments.
all right. So this is for Sonia, Vince, and Paul. Excuse me. During the conversation between Cal and the Myconid, you found out someone had been down here recently and they smelled like Holland.
Ah,
Do you think that was Persephone as his daughter, or Welsland, or maybe even Sevenson?
see.
It
That's
is a
what we were
mystery.
discussing.
It sounded a lot like Persephone, but there's still some investigation that needs to be done on that.
Because Persephone is Holland's daughter.
Yes.
So that would
She's
make
the only
sense.
one that's related.
smell.
That's where I was. going
But
with it.
That we know.
But oh no, that's right. It wasn't me because I had the stone that smelled like that. It was you that had his hand that smelled like that.
Mhm.
That smelled like
It
him.
wasn't just the stone; it was the hand.
They recognized the stone, but they didn't. They kind of smelled the stone, but it's more like them reaching out and
Yeah.
seeing that the stone exists.
But then again,
No, it wasn't a hand. I had it
Yeah.
pinky.
If it
I
wasn't
did
I
her,
think
think
from the hand.
yeah,
I have body parts.
could
Okay.
have done. Someone could have done the same thing.
We need to talk
if it
about
was
that.
just a
Persephone, then
body
that's one
part.
hell of a conspiracy.
We don't need to talk about cheers.
But with that, I mean, wow, that's like you guys grabbed a hold of that instantly. As soon as I mentioned something, it's like you guys turned to each other as he's
We're like,
talking, like,
"Dude!"
okay, who is it? Like immediately, I saw like all the papers behind you guys with the registering, and everything, you know, like full Charlie Day right now.
Right, I
You know,
know.
like, yeah.
And this.
Okay, you guys good with that question? So okay. Well, there's another question pertaining to this. We'll get to that one later. This one's also for everyone, and I hope to God you guys give me the right answer on this. I almost
Oh, there's
include
a
this-
correct answer.
Yeah, there is an obvious correct answer. I include this question because I have faith in you guys.
That makes one of us.
During the MLP game, when Caramel Kiss asked for a healing orgy, I blew soda out of my nose. Is there any chance of you dudes finishing that adventure?
Oh no! I know who asked.
Unfortunately, the correct answer is no. Sorry.
I know who asked.
I love you, Kyle.
I know who asked.
No, no, this was a person that they sent me an email, and I cannot include their name, but
You know what?
they are
What the
someone
hell?
who has
I'll
been
play.
watching. Yeah,
I honestly,
hate so much.
out of morbid curiosity, I do kind of want to finish that.
Oh my god.
I think it's something that we should probably end up doing at some point. We should.
Yeah, you say that when you're on
finish it.
camera, but when you
Well, I
after this,
say
you're gonna be
without
telling
blue,
them.
as soon as I get a couple of drinks in me, I'm like, nah, fuck that. but like pragmatically, if people want to see it, then hey, that means they enjoyed it.
At
But
least
I had a lot of
Kyle gave you
fun.
the right answer.
Yeah, I did have a lot of
I
fun.
wasn't in it, so.
You
Well,
know-
we'll try to have. We'll have to
No
get you
trust
and
me.
I'm
Vincent
like,
on the
it
next
was a
one.
trash
Oh.
Yeah, we'll
fire.
have to get you.
Oh.
It was a glorious trash
It was-
fire.
Oh my
Sasha
God.
Greybeard.
Okay, so
Screaming.
oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Sasha
So
Greybeard,
for
and then-
Joe, this
Alright.
next question is from Pimply Rear End. Dakin took that book from the library about Stars Fall. Why is he interested in that? Does he think Sabbath is actually alive after all?
Ooh.
Which I like this guy because he actually pays attention.
Yes, he
He
does.
pays attention.
Oh, can I answer that? Probably.
Can you?
Well, yeah, he wouldn't have
Yeah,
asked the
actually,
question if you
that's
weren't
true.
allowed to.
Oh,
I mean, you're allowed to say yes or no. Come on.
So come on,
You can
Kyle's
ju-
like, give
all the
me
questions.
answers.
Yeah, all the questions I put in, you guys can legitimately answer, but it just depends. Like, obviously, don't take it too far and start delving into your backstory.
Oh, no.
Just
all right. Well,
Yeah.
let me put it this way: like, you don't like some Stars Fall is a huge event that your goddess, like, you have no idea what exactly happened, so you're just trying to find out what's going on.
Because you're not
History's very
connected
clear about
to
that. She
Rahiel's,
sacrificed
like,
herself and became the Astral Sea.
well,
Yeah.
like you have
We
no,
don't know.
like you don't have a connection to Rahiel's
Yeah.
new church, basically the new God of Light. Like you don't have that connection. You've always worshipped Sabbath even after her death, and a large section already have. So like, do you actually believe that she's still alive? And if that's the case, is Rahiel lying?
That's a good question. That's the answer because I think we've talked about this.
Very little, though.
Yeah.
Very, very little. Like it's one of those things of I'm trying to let it happen in the game to see what you're gonna take, but that is something that could be something big for your character. I mean, for the whole campaign.
Right.
So if you want to keep it vague, that's
I'll keep it vague.
But I will. So you're interested because it's such a huge event.
Yes.
You're interested because you want to know what happened to Sabbath. But in his heart, does he think Sabbath is actually alive?
Yes.
Okay. Then we'll leave it there. We'll leave it at that. Okay. So for everyone, if everything works out and you guys save Brownwater, what are your plans after? Are you just going to wing it? Do you even have a plan?
Gunner's got a plan. He's got somebody very specific to go kill.
Hmm.
He knows where he is. He knows that he's alive. That's
Well, we'll see how the political climate of Brownwater is.
Oh,
But
especially
moving on to the next bigger town, maybe use Brownwater as a stepping stone forward.
That depends on Lowell. Mm-hmm.
So you just basically follow her intuition as to where to go next.
Yeah.
I'm going to figure out a way to fake a sign from Lowell.
Like, move some water around.
like if you want,
I saw his
I'd
name
probably-
on the moon. Come help me out.
sit over Fionn with a bucket of water. Go that way.
Sure.
Cheer has a plan.
All right. You don't have to say the plan.
I'm not
There's
going to
just-
say the plan.
it's a wondering of what are your like. Do you have a plan? Like you don't have to get too deep into it. I know they asked exactly what your plans are.
Yeah,
but we'll let that come out
Cheer has
again.
plans. She just isn't.
And
doesn't
Dayton?
say.
It honestly kind of depends on just how the situation with the daydreamers and everything just ends up turning out.
Okay. So there's still a lot of
Yeah, there's
uncertainty in the air. I mean, we have no idea if this fixed everything. Like we don't know. Did you guys flip the switch and everybody's suddenly fine, or did it kind of make things worse?
I guess we'll find out in like
You just
4
have to
days.
shove some
Yeah?
tadpole riddled water into their mouths. That way they can have the force.
Yeah, oh, so you figured out the metachlorians?
Oh, no.
Oh, please, I made the joke the moment you said it, you jerk. Maybe we should give them some dark side.
For
No.
Joe and Bunt, since the other person who did
So
this
Kyle.
one, and
What?
Oh, for the one shot.
and Kyle too.
Oh,
Yeah,
one
yeah,
shot.
and
Oh,
Kyle
okay,
too.
one shot.
I love the old church one shot. Very Scooby Doo. Are you guys going to hold on to that favor like you're hoarding items in a video game, or are you going to use it as soon as you can? Oh, and that lady was definitely an ASMR.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I would figure.
Duh. What?
Yes,
So the
but I
second
don't
question,
know
yeah,
what-
duh.
We had a ton of questions about dice rolls, like how bad does it suck to have dice rolls when you know something, but it's like 2. Never mind.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know,
Well,
right? That
that
does
sucks.
suck.
Yeah.
I have this strange feeling that our
I knew it
DM
was a roper.
is going to send us into another plane, and so maybe he
Having
should
a
just hold on to
wayfinder.
that.
I don't
just-
send you guys anywhere.
True.
I simply show you guys the doors and you walk through.
But you have it's just an enticing lure,
Hey,
David.
life
It's,
is
Yeah, that's
an
it's
true.
like really good. Well, how can we not buy
I mean, literally, there is a portal sitting right in front of you guys. Some of you guys have been really intensely looking at going into other planes of existence. So I mean,
We have water walk on
Uh,
we have
No,
no
we
abundance
don't.
of water.
You
This is
did.
way out there,
No.
but-
No, actually, it would still be up, but it
Oh,
has a
that's
very
right,
short
yeah,
duration
that's
last.
Yeah.
It's an hour.
And
long.
unfortunately, I did meditate up water breathing. I was thinking of it.
I can do
So,
that
do you,
too.
are you guys? So you guys are planning on holding on to it for the right moment, or are you guys going to use it like as soon as
Well,
possible?
you-
Well,
the
I don't know
funny-
if it's their choice. It's Cal who's got it.
Well, no, it's the
we
three
all
of you.
have
No.
it technically.
Well, he's the one who has the
We
extra
are
stuff. Though.
very,
True.
very good at procking necessary need very quickly.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
So
Yeah.
little column
You
A,
know, who
little
knows?
column
It
B.
may come out.
We only got a few more questions, and then we'll have to let somebody go. We may be able to continue for a minute after that, but somebody's got to get out of here, and he's got some more questions to answer. So,
Alright.
all right. So, for everyone, something strange is going on. Do you think Persephone, Welleslin, or maybe Stevenson is actually behind everything? So we'll just do like a straw poll. Who do you actually think it is? Each one of you. Start with you.
Me?
Who do you actually think is behind this thing?
You mean I have to think?
Yes.
Damn it! That's why
Gunner?
I think that.
Yeah, that's what Gunner doesn't
Well,
know.
this is Vince thinking, not Gunner thinking.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm used to not thinking, man. Wellsman's the one that was after Stevenson, so I think he's probably the one behind it.
So all right.
And
So,
either with Persephone as a willing or unwilling participant in it.
That's kind of similar. You know, it's Welleslin was way too nice to not be up to no good, and I'm pretty sure he could easily have manipulated perception.
so literally, you feel the same way about Welleslin as Gunner does about Gunner?
Yeah. Hey, when you
It's
know
too
a comment,
goddamn
or
nice.
if you're when you're comment, you know.
yeah,
comment.
comment doesn't comment. That's true. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
I do that.
Or Kyle, who do you think?
Persephone.
Do you think it's Persephone? Sure.
I think it's a situation that they're all assholes and they're all guilty of something.
Oh,
So-
please, come on.
We
Oh,
got
So
yeah.
okay, so you think it's a
Cop out.
triad of people.
Yeah.
So you think all three of them? Okay,
Mhm.
so. And
I'm at a disadvantage for
America.
having not been
Persephone
here.
has a lot of
So
knowledge.
yeah, yeah, you missed it, but you have watched the episodes.
I have, but yeah, everyone's a little bit kind of tricky. But Wilson, especially, like, hey, look at me, I can just cure. It's like, hold up.
So that's
It's
what
like-
really did it for you.
It's like you could
Mhm.
cure them, and like, and I know Sister
It's
Monty
fair.
could, and it's like, but she has way better magic than.
Okay.
It's like,
So it looks like most of you think Welleslin is probably the perpetrator on that. So this is why the game has to subvert your expectations, and it was at least all along.
Oh, that bitch.
just kidding. It was everyone.
I told
See
you.
that little girl?
I invented a new character. She's got purple hair and her name's Holdo. She's behind everything.
No, it turns out it was the sheriff the whole time.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
There's Wolf the whole
No,
time.
not my boyfriend.
So everyone that she
Sheriff
likes turns out to
Wolfred!
be a
Since
dick.
we're on Scooby Doo.
It's like, that's a good way to make
So
us not
the-
trust any character after that.
Right? And the funny thing is you guys haven't been betrayed really. Like you guys have been knowingly used by people, but there's been no real
There's
go process.
manipulation, but not betrayal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I hate when it's so obvious the betrayal is coming. Like as soon as you like an NPC, the game has that NPC, stab you in the back, and that happens so often. You're like, oh, dude, now we're just not going to trust anybody.
Yeah.
That's
So
kind
always
of what
try
I'm
to-
enjoying is every NPC has their own agenda, but none of them have really.
Yeah,
We're not
it's
counter
not like
to their.
yeah, they're not. They want you to use you for their agenda, but they're not like, well, once my agenda is done, I need to dispose of you. It's like, no, you're useful. Like
Yeah.
to me, that's what real people would do.
It's like, cool. Now
You guys
stay
are-
away from me.
Yeah, you
Kinda.
guys are powerful people that they can use to their advantage. Why would they want to get rid of that? I mean, unless you're like doing what you did to the fur goods. 100%, I understand why the fur goods want to kill you guys. Like 100%, I get it.
We did burn their house.
Yeah.
I think it's just
and their
one fur good in
business and
particular.
a whole bunch of other
Also,
shit.
I'm so pissed off you guys did not ask any questions there.
That's,
Okay.
that's what you get for not being.
I know.
Okay, this one is another one for everyone, and we're almost done, guys. Knowing what you know now, and this one is also from Pimply Ruined. Knowing what you know now, If given a second chance, would you still go down the well, or would you cast Speak with Dead on Holland first?
Oh, it's got
Speak with Dead.
Down
Speak with
Holland
it.
first. Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right.
It was like, hold up.
I
We're
didn't
going
know
down
that
the
was an option, so
Yeah, but you guys already went down the well.
Well, no, it was. He mentioned it, but you guys would have had to wait a day.
Yeah.
That was the thing is you guys didn't want.
Then
you
we would have
decided
been able
you
to have
didn't wanna
spells
wait.
prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys decided you just
Poor
didn't
Kyle.
want to wait.
Well, I mean, Caliph in the beginning, he really wanted to prepare for this more than anything. So yeah, definitely he would have,
Okay.
like, can we prepare?
So this next question is for Vince. Gunnar seems to really hate the Fergoods. When everything is over, what, if anything, is he going to do to get revenge on them? And who was Delilah to Gunnar? He obviously tried to get her free.
Hey there. It's Delilah.
Session 0, maybe?
Session 0.
Ah.
Okay.
Delilah was. I can talk about the Session 0, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point, it's all pretty much come out.
So, One Eye and Gunnar were originally contracted by the Fergoods to take Delilah to Brown One.
Hmm.
And that's when Gunnar found out the Fergoods were into slaving and that she wasn't there of her own accord. And since the area Gunnar's from is really kind of anti-slavery, he's got to burr up his ass about the whole, hey, we're making money off other people suffering, but that's all good.
So does he have a burr up his ass enough that he's going to try to take it to the Fergoods when all is said and done?
Depends.
Or does he have something more important to do?
He's pragmatic enough to where he's not going to break the status quo for no advantage. If he has a way to screw the Fergoods that won't burn back on him and his friends, he'll do it in a heartbeat. But he's not gonna.
Considers his friend.
There's him and One Eye and him. But no,
Really?
yeah, I can't mess with you a little bit. Come on. No, the character's cold-blooded enough to where he's not gonna go over and just screw the Fergoods because he's pissed off.
Okay.
But if there's a way to screw the Fergoods, make a little
Inconvenience
money,
him.
and not cause a problem for himself, 100%.
All right. Good answer. So this next question I included is more of a joke than anything, but I'm glad that we got this question. When Cheer dies from eating weird things she randomly finds, what character are you going to roll up next on him?
Hey, she even had formaldehyde and she lived. Come on.
He said I just did that one as a joke.
I mean, magical poison is still good.
So something that we were talking about actually before we went live tonight is how most of us, we don't have a character like in the wings ready to go. We may have an
Speak for
idea,
yourself.
but
Yeah.
we don't like to have a fleshed out character like
Two people
waiting,
who
because then that
faces
kind of
against her.
removes some of the care that you care about this character. Like, you're not as emotionally connected with this character because you're like, well, I have a backup, and having a backup is always like when you have a safety net. There's always that little bit of just like, well, I have a safety net.
You call that a safety net? I call that inevitability.
I also have a problem where if I start thinking about the next character, I will want to play the next
Exactly.
character.
Exactly.
And,
Like
and
me,
it's
I'm
like,
very
will you hurry
much.
up and kill me?
I'm very much I play my character when my character dies. That's my.
Where it can be.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to revive you just to
Is there
torture
anything in the
you.
chat?
Huh?
Is there anything in the chat?
Nope, just Patrizzle saying, "Hey everyone, hey Patrizzle, how you doing?
Yo.
Nice to see you. You're coming in near the end. Sorry, we only got a few questions left. Sorry about that. This one's for everyone, and then after this one, Vince, if you want, you got to take. I know you got movie tickets, so if you got to take off. What is your favorite moment in the campaign so far? And Vince, we'll start with you.
Thanks.
Wait.
It depends. There's a couple moments I really enjoyed in the campaign. The duel in the corral was fun just because it was a brand new mechanic. It had a valid reason for being there in the story, and it played really to the character. But I think some of the emotional moments, like Cheer's reveal, great moment. Yeah, she went from tiny little asshole to emotionally damaged tiny little asshole.
Like there's reasons
Oh,
behind.
that's
it.
why you're tiny little ass.
You're a dick. But
Yeah.
Who hurt you? Oh God, now we know.
Yeah.
Oh.
so those are always my favorite moments. Is when you get that poignant moment with a character.
Okay, great answer. Love it. What about you, Paul?
I mean, as much as I love those moments, and I really do,
Mm.
the two most favorite moments of the campaign so far is when Cal went trying to search for people in the brothel tent.
Oh.
Cutting holes, and then had to run to the.
Yeah, that was a hairy situation. Like
Yes.
that was Ron Jeremy levels of hairy.
I don't
Yeah.
want to know how hairy that was.
And then the second one was when he was scamming people out of their betting money.
You gotta go, Vince. You can take
Okay,
off.
a few more minutes.
But yeah, scamming people out of their betting money.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
You got
Yeah?
fun with that too.
I'm interested in what you're gonna say.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
Character reveals are always fun. When Theon actually does get to be vocal, that's kind of
No, but I mean, what is your current favorite moment?
fun. Honestly, I have to go. You might need to move on to someone else.
Move on to someone else. Like, why would I do that?
No, you're next
No,
to
you
mine.
can go, Joe. I'm having a good thought. You go.
That's what I'm doing too.
Quickly think.
The
Joe.
problem is, like, was I there for that?
You don't have to be there if it's
You
your
don't have to be
favorite
there.
moment.
That's true. I do like the character. Honestly,
Dude,
just the
give me
character
one
reveal
second,
stuff
I
and
gotta
everything.
go.
I wish I could have been there for Truth's reveal.
Right? That would have been so.
So you really enjoyed watching
Yeah.
Tears reveal like that was it. I think that was a big moment for the campaign that really showed. Like I think that helped everybody else kind of break some of their walls down and be like, oh, because it's after that is when your family thing came up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like that. I think was one of the catalysts to be like, oh, you're people.
Yeah.
Like you're like you all have your own thing, but you're all people. You're not caricatures.
Characters' backstories that popped up into the situation that were cool, but that's the one that had the biggest emotional impact.
Yeah, and the thing is, it happened right after the big reveal of Gunner's. You know, like Gunner had a brother. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a twin brother? Really? Okay. Like yeah, it's that, and then right after that was Cheer.
Yeah. So the emotional tension was already rising from the first reveal, and then Cheer has her giant reveal in the middle of the street. And yeah, that was.
Anything else, Joe? Or is that it was so far been your favorite?
I think that, but also, honestly, I like we just did.
That was one of my
Yeah.
favorite combats.
That's probably one of my favorite combat of the campaign.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, it works because it's kind of like a chapter end style fight. So that worked out that it was such a good fight. But I play tested that fight like 7 times, just going through the numbers. I spent more time on that singular fight than I've ever spent on any combat. Like even the Strahd fight that I ran that 4 times. I ran this more than I ran the Strahd fight to end the last campaign. So that, I mean, that's showing you something. I needed to make a fight that was hard enough that if you rolled super badly or you made super bad decisions, it was over. You guys were dead. But if you guys made super good decisions, you guys could Avengers this out against Thanos. You know.
Yeah. No,
I
this
had to
is
do that.
definitely probably top 3, top 4 combats that I've had. Period.
That to me that's a great honor for me. That's a great honor for me. And then so coming back to Sonia or Kyle, whichever one wants to go next.
No singular
I
moment stands
nominate
out as a
Sonya.
favorite.
Not a one.
Not a singular moment stands out as an absolute favorite.
You
I
got
like it when character stuff gets revealed. I like it when the dice take bad turns for the worse and the spy becomes a peeping Tom. Like, oh my god, that was the wrong tent.
Well,
Yeah,
you're
fine.
kind of in a unique position because as a kind of the wallflower of the group, you know, like which you are not in real life. He is not shy in real life.
I'm
He's
plenty
playing a
shy.
character.
He's plenty shy.
His last
Around
character
us.
in the first character in our most successful campaign I ran him in, the character never shut up. So this is like completely counter to that. But like you have a unique position where Jan doesn't speak much. She's constantly observing everything that happens around her. I mean, so you get to watch these moments more than anything else. You've had your own minor moments that come up, like some that are terrifying, some that are great. Some
Yeah,
that
I'm
are,
still waiting on some of them.
well, oh yeah,
I think some of them are going to be hilarious.
I think some of them are going to be. I think some of them are going to be hilarious. I think some are going to be heartbreaking. Like I think there's a lot coming up for Fionn.
Wow, you're going to murder her entire tribe? I've already been through that with the previous character.
No, I can't do the same thing twice.
No, you didn't do that. Screw you.
Well, in the last campaign, you know, you were one of the last of the can't go. I can't do that again. I can't do that again. Like it's the same thing with like family, like paternal stuff. You know, that was in the last campaign that I'm not doing in this campaign.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't like telling the same story, you know, multiple times unless I can put a different twist on it.
Mhm.
So, Sonia, you had an extra 45 seconds to think.
And more like 120, 180 seconds.
Yeah.
Really, guys?
Yeah.
Come on, I gotta
Okay.
go. I want to hear this.
Okay, fine. Okay, so yes, there are a couple that I really do like thinking about it. And one was the reveal and then the character interaction with Gunner. I think that was really
Yeah.
good and it hurts.
Well, I know
You made me
you were in
cry, you
tears.
asshole.
Yeah, you were in tears
Yes.
during that.
You made me cry.
Like I'm not calling anybody out, but there were people choked up around the table on that
Yes.
one. So, and rewatching it, I'm like,
It hurts.
I know the fucking story, and I'm like, oh, damn. You know?
What episode was that again? I want to go watch that.
I think it was episode 20. I think it was
Somewhere around there. Just start looking.
Those are around there.
Look for Hermont new.
I didn't feel the need to rewatch it because that one's stuck in my
Remember-
brain.
Yeah.
Gotta remember the title. The title should leap out.
Yeah, the title does leave out.
Revelations or something like that.
So what was the other favorite?
It sounds silly, but I like the R1 shot where we killed.
Where we went full murder hobo?
Yeah, you went for full murder, and thank God the gun wasn't there.
It
And thank
turns
God you haven't
out-
told Fiona
I
about
kind of like the
It was hilarious though.
Bastards.
Because it was just like we're there, and then we kill all these poor people that we just stumble across, and then we're there, and Gunner and Cheer there melting the flesh off the bodies and off the bones, and then designing everything, and then we're like, yeah, it's good, and then we go
Serial
on, and then
killers.
it's like,
See,
I think it was
well,
into
I love the
psychopaths.
juxtaposition of that
Right?
too.
It's just
Because
like,
I didn't plan that per se because I didn't have the option to plan that because literally the second one shot
Oh,
was in I created that in 2 hours and then we played it. Like I had no time for
And that
that.
was literally Scooby.
But the
Yes.
first one was Scooby Doo, just on the other end. Like, you guys were the old man McGinnis in the mask,
Yes.
setting up
well,
making
no,
the
somebody
place
wasn't in
haunted
a
and
mask, somebody
everything.
was in a dress for like
But
most of it.
you guys were I love it. It's like you guys were the bad guys in Scooby Doo, and you guys were Scooby Doo in the game. You know,
Yes.
So
I
it's
think
funny
that's-
how two of the healers are
Rubber.
like, are the
good guys.
the ones who have to bring you back
I
down.
love how Cal was in both.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about the party dynamic is if you take 2 players out
Boom.
and
It's-
swap 2 players in,
It's
the
a whole different
emotional
thing. Yeah.
content is completely
It's
different.
Yeah.
The group works so well together because everybody plays off of each other so much. But when you remove one person out of that, it's like the dynamic changes a bit. Then you remove another, and it changes even more. And it gets to this point where you guys have already had your points of like. I think everybody has paired up with everyone else sitting around here at one point or another and had a conversation. And like the way you interact with that person, it like just one on one, it's completely different the way you interact with them when it's all of you around. Like you started with Cheer, like you were like real nice to her, but in front of everybody, you were still calling her short stack and kind of being a dick. And then later on, it finally slowly you're like, okay, well now how you interact with her is how you interact with her in front of everybody. Like Cal, same thing with Cheer, like you would kind of only like chastise her like she was a child when nobody else was around. Now you're just like, God damn it,
Frustrated.
I
I
like
do have
that.
to throw out. I don't, in fact, hate Paul. He's a good friend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just characters.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
somebody
We don't
mentioned
hate
they're like,
each
"Oh,
other."
you
Well,
hate this
well,
dude."
the night that her thing came out,
Yeah, I know.
that
Oh,
people were in tears and people were angry, like people like.
Yeah.
The thing is, it was so emotional. You had to understand that, like everyone here, nobody knew that was coming. Sonny didn't know that was coming. Nobody knew that was coming. So when it happened and everybody was kind of getting heated, that was not the players getting heated. They were so deep in their characters. You guys were really like
We were locked
you
in.
were locked in at that point.
Well,
like
whatever.
I gotta jet, man.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
talking
All right,
let's do
about.
that.
thanks, guys.
Bye, Evan.
See it.
What are you going to
See
see?
it. Birds of Prey.
All
All
right.
right.
Don't know how it is.
Definitely. I'll text you guys.
But-
Yeah, that's a good one.
No,
Well, we're
stop.
gonna keep going for a few more minutes, and then we'll be done. Yeah.
Hold on, my soda.
We can breathe, people.
You'll be disappointed if it really does turn out to be Harley Quinn the movie.
It is.
Yeah.
I can already tell you this.
Oh, well, let's move on.
But yeah, let's move on. But yeah, so that's everybody's favorite moment of the campaign so far. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I'm glad you guys kind of have some that line up, but you guys also have some that are completely different. Cheers moment seems to be a big one for you guys. Like, but that was such a big
It
moment for the
was.
camp. Because to be fair, that affected everyone there.
Yeah.
Like it affected you because that's when your guys' relationship really took a hit, and you guys went from being Frodo and Sam to Smeagol or Gollum coming in and fucking up their relationship. Your Gollum was the reveal of this, of you knowing, and that's what fucked up your guys' relationship. For game sessions. Yeah, for game sessions, and it's only slowly starting to come back. Like this last time, I think is the first time that you said something really like poignant and nice to him in a while. So like that really affected how and I noticed like Calith has been a little more off the rails than normal because he doesn't have that rock in his relationship with Sheer anymore. It's kind of in troubled waters. So as the waters are splashing around, he's just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna steal this and yeah, I'm
That would
gonna
have
fuck with this
sucked
guy.
if you
And,
died.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You just lost your dad.
Like Cheer, I think would have been devastated
Oh,
forever. Oh my
Murdered
god!
him,
Like imagine you never made up.
That would've been
Oh.
Talk about
Oh my
psychological
God.
damage.
So can we retcon it?
Well, I don't know.
No.
There's still time. I could not get to him fast enough.
No, don't be an
Please
ass,
get to him.
Kyle.
No,
Better save
people
it
are
for
still
us.
doing death saving throws.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Everyone but like a few.
A couple of people are not doing death saving. So you guys are not out of the woods yet.
No.
I mean, it is entirely possible that people die still, but it's
No.
the direct threat of this monster is currently defeated as it stands right now. You guys have no idea what's coming next. You guys are looking around going like, how the fuck do we even get out of this place? You guys have some serious choices to make, and I'm really
back
excited
up.
to see
There's a
what you
portal.
guys do. I'm really
Yeah,
excited
we
to see what
figure
you
this
guys
out.
do. That's going to be fun. That's going to be real fun. So we always end our Dudes on Dudes with the same question, and that question is, do you all have any questions for each other that we haven't covered, or questions for me that we haven't covered? Now, I've had a ton of questions. I could probably do like an hour-long question and answer session just myself. But it's me being the moderator today. I don't have to answer any of your questions yet, but that will be coming on the next Dudes and Dudes. It'll be just probably me and one other person, and we'll have most of that answered for the campaign.
That's
So
not
we're
actually
getting a
true. You see,
shitload.
the thing is, he assembled the list, so
Yeah.
he cut out the questions you had
Yes,
for him.
100% I did, because I had as many questions for myself that are on this list.
Can I read that?
No.
Yeah, read that.
You can read them out, or you can be next to me and answer the questions with me. When we do the next one. I don't like sharing the questions beforehand, so that way I get their real reaction.
Real act.
Real.
So, any questions you guys have for each other or for me? Or do we want to go and wrap this up?
Well, I'm kind of curious what Theon feels about everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
what
what's
are
Fion's
Fion's
opinion
feelings?
on
We
everyone?
can't get a
Everybody
beat
in
on
the
her.
party.
That character.
Annoying, shifty. Annoying, shifty. Like that one.
But you seem to have a pretty good relationship with Cal and Tyr as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your own feelings about
At that
people. but
point,
you're
is
still-
that's Bratty little sister.
Yeah.
okay, gotcha. And weird uncle.
That's fair.
Oh.
Well, I'm probably a little harsh, but you know.
Right, so that who am I? Just
No, she likes you.
I know.
I think it's the similarities in the way you all handle yourselves, because you all handle yourselves pretty.
Yeah.
You both focus on life more than anything else. Like you don't want to kill prisoners. You don't want to kill prisoners. You don't even want to hurt the guys in the one shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was you who wanted to strip them down naked. You know,
Yeah.
You were just like, just
I
get the
just
fuck
want
out
to
of here.
scare them, and
Well, yeah.
No.
if they had anything valuable.
Well,
Yeah.
I know that was part of it. Yeah.
And none of you got me body parts. You were in a graveyard.
Yes, the cleric of the temple.
The cleric.
Of where the graves.
Of-
You know?
yeah.
If I had
And
more
the
time,
druid
I
who
would.
thinks
Thank
they should have
you.
been burned in the first place.
Thank you.
Yeah.
At least somebody would have gotten me body parts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
But he
your-
was
your
too busy
father, who
pilfering
you're
for
mad at
himself.
and haven't gotten to apologize to
That's
yet.
just-
Better hope I get it fast enough.
Oh.
That's-
Kyle.
That's going to be interesting when the one shot stuff comes out, because you guys have. What I like about the one shots, and I like the fact that we've done canonical one shots, is
Yeah.
because you guys have really been able to delve deeper into the characters and other NPCs that I haven't been able to bring in. Because the fact of the matter is, there is 110 unique NPCs within Brownwater,
Yeah.
and you guys have met about 55, 60 of them.
All right, time to find the rest.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories still in Brownwater that you guys could explore. There's still a lot there. But again, at this point now, the only thing that I asked you guys is to give Brownwater a chance when the campaign started. And you guys did more than that. So you guys could have left at any time. You guys could have left now.
He didn't ask for a chance. He
He is like, please.
Told us.
Yeah.
That was
said,
never
if
gonna
you
happen.
guys leave this town, I will hurt you all.
Well, within the first few
You
sessions,
gave me the need to
Yeah.
stay there.
Well, that was the thing. Is I tried to make it worthwhile for you guys to stay.
Well,
But
you knew like I had a character reason to stay there.
yeah, everybody had a reason to stay.
Well,
But there is still that player, reaction of I want to take this wrench and throw it in these, and throw the spanner in the gears. Like there's a lot of players that have it, and all of you have that to at least some extent.
I have a question. Has that happened in this campaign?
Several times.
Spanner in the
Several
gears.
times. Spanner in the works several times.
Which?
Well, besides the obvious of me having to create a one-shot adventure in 2 fucking hours,
That's
Besides-
hardly a wrench.
That's just
That's
life.
not a wrench.
besides that was how like Cheer and her reaction to Elise, that was different than I expected. There hasn't been anything that's completely derailed what I was going to do, because you guys have been fairly smart. The easiest way that you guys could have derailed things from this campaign is simply trying to be murder hobos. That would have been the one way that you could have just completely fucked everything over. Because then there's no way that Wolverines trust you.
Yep.
There's no way that the families trust you and want to use you for their own nefarious gains. Nothing can
They're
happen
too
at that
chaotic.
point. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's if you're just a bunch of murderers, they don't want you. Like you look at Lara Hall. Even he's not just a psychopathic murderer. I mean, he's a dangerous son of a bitch, but he's not just. He doesn't kill for killing's sake. Because if that were the case, he would have gone after you guys himself. But he's just like, well, I want to send them a message. And he did. And he sent you a message directly. So he could have focused on the entire group. But he sent a message to you for what you said. And you took your beating. And it may have changed his mind a little bit on just,
It lets me know that I sent a very effective message to him.
You did. It was effective enough that a knoll beat your face into unconsciousness.
Yeah, I missed that
He
part.
may have broken my bones, but the thoughts that I left in his head will haunt him for a lifetime.
You get to live rent free in his head forever.
Yep. You got free real estate in his brain. But see, it's stuff like that. Like, there hasn't been anything that you guys have done that's been like, like, there's a lot of things that have happened that have made me rethink, like, what I'm doing. But I have thought about the NPCs and the story in this so much that I have something for everything. Like, I have an idea of, since I know the NPCs so well, when you guys come at them from a different way than I thought you were going to, like against Dalius when you all first met him, I did not expect that. I expected you guys to try to call a meeting, and you guys were like, "No, first we're gonna try to get in there, and we're gonna try to fuck him over. We're gonna try to fuck this guy up. We're gonna freaking get in there under the dead of night. We're gonna pull him out of his sleeping bag. We're gonna beat him into unconsciousness. And we're gonna take his out. I didn't expect you guys to attempt that plan. And when he saw that was your all's plan, he reacted to you guys differently than I had initially thought. So there hasn't been a single situation that you guys walked in that it's been like, okay, you did exactly what I thought you were going to. There's not a single one of those has happened yet.
We got to
Maybe.
keep you on your toes.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I like about this campaign is you guys have. Because the previous campaign, you guys were different. You guys were much more physical in the last campaign. But you guys were also a group of people who were like, no, force can be used to get the answer. And a lot of the quests that you guys had, force was a much more obvious solution to what you guys could do. And this, you guys are teetering on a knife's edge in brown water. I mean, you try to use too much force and you fall off of one side, but you don't use enough force and you fall off the other. Like you guys have to keep that balance because it's a lawless, frontier town.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I like that balance, especially that since I'm running such a political and non-combative character.
Which the current climate, I can see like giving Callus some, half a pack of roll aids, like just a little bit of a chub,
Yeah.
Like I can see that, and like I can see Dakin, like what he's doing, and like how this is affecting him, like he coming from him, like you being observant and listening that he came from where disease was happening, disease ran rampant, and then coming down to here and the daydreamers are happening. I mean, that's just like. I can see Dakin like, oh, I have to do something. I wasn't able to do anything before. I got to do something now. Like Cheer being down here is like, this is a fun adventure. This is a place that she's been able to actually stay in. This is probably the longest time that you've been in one place for your entire life at this point.
No, not once it was tortured.
Well, that's true. Outside of that, because even when you're in the military, you're still moving around a lot. But in Brownwater, you've been able to really, you've been able to see a layer of society that you've never seen before. Because you've seen like the iron cities within Southgate. You saw them blowing all that freaking, soot and pollution into the air. You saw industry happening. You saw that, and then coming from where you are, where they literally use woodworking to weave their houses into trees, so that way they don't affect anything, where the trees can still
These are
grow around them.
rookies.
You know, then to go to Brownwater and see,
Close enough.
oh my lord, you know.
There you
But I mean, to see how Brownwater runs is completely different than anywhere else that you've seen, and it has, of course, this water that you're like, oh, okay.
go.
And of course, being forced into
Water.
clothes by Lester.
Oh yeah.
Because Lester made it come back.
Yeah, you guys like Lester so much. I think he has to. I had to transplant him into my campaign. I had to.
It was just awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't not do that. I didn't want to put him in Brownwater, but it's like I can't not have Lester in the campaign. We just had way too much fun with him last time. Way too much fun. Any other questions you guys got for me?
What's going to happen
Why?
to us all?
I want to find that one out myself.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Think we're good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the next Dudes on Dudes number 7 will be happening probably the beginning of March, and we'll try to cover everything that's happened in February. So that's what we're going to try to do from now on. We're going to try to get onto that schedule that we tried to set, but we've had a whole bunch of other things happening and trying to get our production stuff in order and everything else. But I hope you guys have seen that we've been improving slowly. Any suggestions that you guys have, if any of you guys know more about sound engineering or video engineering, anything like that, you let us know. Give it, drop us advice if you guys have questions, if you guys have comments, or if you want to join the giveaway. If you want to join in on that, you can go ahead and email us at diceanddudes, the number 9 @gmail.com. If you want to get in on the free giveaway for the poster, I don't think I have the poster.
I think
next to me.
Behind
There's
your
one
head.
behind you.
Well, you
this
have an
one,
example.
Yeah, this one right here. But it will be signed by all of us,
I can't
unless you
see.
tell us that you don't want us to sign it. So that's one thing too. If we choose you, we'll send you an email to say that you've been chosen, and we'll ask you if you want it signed or unsigned, and then we'll get it sent off to you. We will pretty much be doing this by kind of committee for now. Once we have more people, we'll just put it in an algorithm, and we'll just have people randomly chosen. But remember to email and tell us who your favorite character is in the campaign so far and why they're your favorite character, and we will choose the answers. Okay. I think that's going to go ahead and do it for us today. Remember that we have Lander coming up on Monday, the 10th at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and then Wednesday, the 12th, we will be having episode number 26 of the Guns of a Roll. So I hope you guys will join us for that. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I had a good time. Thank you all for talking to me. Thank you guys for joining me, taking time out of your busy Saturday nights and sitting down with me and having a nice little chat. All right, everybody. I'd like to thank you all for watching us. Remember, from my dudes to your dudes, keep rolling dice. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Right.